So let's say you want to play some modded maps, some mutators, that kind of thing on your own computer without having to join a server or build a server. Well, fortunately, there is a way to do that. First, we're going to go through how to install mods. So what you want to do is you want to go to the Mod.io page, which I have on my screen now. I have a link for it in the pinned comment. So this is where you search for mods. So let's say you want to play Strike at Karkand. You can see it here, but you can use the search here. So you can do things like, I want to play a checkpoint map, and it will search checkpoint maps. And I'm like, oh, Karkand looks good. But here's the thing, don't subscribe here because it doesn't seem to work half the time. What you want to do is you want to load up Insurgency, you want to get the name of the mod, load up Insurgency, click on mods, and then you want to search here. So you go Karkand. And look at that, there's Karkand. Obviously we don't want to play test, we want to play Karkand. If you click here and you can click on download. So you can see I've already downloaded it, but the reason why you want to do it this way and not the other way is if I go back, let's say I want to play this massacre game mode, whatever that is. See how it says incompatible? It means that it's not going to work. And that's the important reason why you want to use the in-game Insurgency interface. When you click download, you can actually see that it's downloading at the top, and this lets you know that your game is actually downloading the file. So if I wanted to play this vacant map, unfortunately I can't, it's incompatible. This means that the creator has not updated it since the latest Insurgency patch, which is a shame because that was a really fun map I wanted to make a video on. So that's how you download mods. So let's say you wanted to download something that isn't a map. For example, you wanted to download ISMC mod. So what you do is you click on here, you look at the name of the mod, and then you go back into Insurgency and you type it in. So ISMC, and there it is. And you can press download. Obviously, I've already got it here. And that will also let you know if it's compatible or not. So it will download each mod one at a time. You can see the progress up here. It'll go through an install phase after this as well. Once it's downloaded, you're ready to play. And that's into the next section. How do we actually play the mods in single player mode? So the next part is you want to download the Sandstorm Localplay launcher. This will let you run a local server and then it basically plays the game through a local server without actually having to build a server. I've linked this in the pinned comment, but you download this file and the instructions on how to use it are here. However, I will very quickly go through how you want to use it. Once you've downloaded the launcher, you don't actually need to install it anywhere. You can run it from your downloads folder if you want. It doesn't really matter. But it loads up this interface. Now you don't have to worry too much about this screen. You want to go to the Generals tab. This is where the information is. But the important things to know is that play will play the game and save saves what you have on your screen now as your current setup. Now you can add mutators here. So for example, if I wanted to play Frenzy, I can play Frenzy by adding it there. And if I go to available mutators, I should have Frenzy in here somewhere. There it is, Frenzy. And I can add that and now we're playing Frenzy. If you look at the pinned comment, it will have a link to a list of all default mutators, but we can also add custom mutators. To download mutators, you download them with the method I showed you before, and then if you click on the mutators tab, these are all the mods I've downloaded. But to add them, you can't add them in here. What you have to do is you have to go back to the Mod.io page, and let's say you wanted to use the ISMT2 Project Arbusto mod, scroll down and find out what the creator has called their mutators. So for example, here, ISMC gunfight attack. Based on the fully loaded loadout, everyone has access to all guns, adds it blah, 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 blah. But that's the name of the mutator. They've actually outlined what it is. So what you want to do is you want to copy that back into your program and you can paste it in here. And now if I press the plus, it's now added it to the available mutators. If I go down here, I can see gunfight attack. And what I do is I click the arrow. So these are the mutators in play. I also want to add improved AI, which again, you go to the Mod.io page, you find improved AI, and then you scroll down and you can see the mutator name is improved AI. So you copy that, paste it in there, press plus. I've already got it added, but I added in there. Now if I go tactical bots versus, and you can see I've got 3 mutators in play now. Now you don't have to have any mods enabled, you can just play with normal settings, but this is how you do custom mods. So the final part is how to download and play maps. So if you go on the custom panel, these are the maps I've downloaded as I used the method before, and you can see Strike at Karkand. What you want to do is you want to double click add Strike at Karkand on the right hand side, and I've already added it, so it's come up with an error saying already added. And now if you go to selected custom map preset, you should be able to find Strike at Karkand, which I have there. Now, the way to play it is you go back to the general tab, you click on custom, and you can see all the maps. So for example, I want to play Strike at Karkand, I want to play Checkpoint, time of day is day, 32 players max, don't worry about 32 players, we're not playing multiplayer, and then load mutators is on. And that's how you play a map. So if I wanted to play Redwood Reborn, double click on it, it'll come up with, I've already added it, but for you, it'll add it here. Now, if I go here, you can see there's Outpost and Checkpoint. That just means it's loaded. And you can go back to General, Custom, and you can see Redwood Reborn is now there. Unfortunately, Redwood Reborn hasn't been updated, so at the time of this video, it doesn't work. All right, so we've got our custom map, we've got our mutators, we're ready to go, but we don't have any friendly bots. So the default is 6 enemies and 4 allied bots, but we want a few more than that, don't we? So then you can go to the Advanced tab, and I've just put some really basic settings in here. Now, the trick with this is you want to go replace. This is the Game.ini file, and you want to go replace. So whatever the file is, it's usually empty. It replaces it with this. But you want to make sure that this will actually work. And the way to check if it's going to work is click on Open Game.ini in Text Editor. Mine comes up with an error because I've got mine stored in a different location. If yours does not come up with this error, it should just open a notepad document. If you want to know where this file is, open up your computer, click up here and put in %appdata %, press enter. Now it's going to put you in the roaming folder, click on AppData, go to local, scroll down until you find insurgency, saved, config, WindowsClient. This is where it's filed. So you can see game and you can go open with notepad. And you can see I've got a bunch of custom things, but we're just going to go through a real basic setup. So if you're like me and this comes up with an error saying it can't find it, you want to find the file where I just showed you. So let's say you do have it set up properly. You can see here, I've just got some basics set up. I'll put this script in the description and also in the pinned comment. So the 4 settings I have is bBots. This just means bots enabled. So yes, we do. BotQuota 64, doesn't really matter, but it's just 64 bots maximum. So SoloEnemies, this is how many enemies there are going to be when you play by yourself. So obviously 16. And then FriendlyBots is how many bots you'll have when you play Checkpoint. You can see up here, it is the Checkpoint game mode. So now if I press play, there should be 16 enemy bots and there should be 12 friendly bots. And that's how you modify the amount of bots. If you modify it in the notepad file, it'll look like this. Now, be sure that you cannot have the game running when you save this file. It won't apply. So you want to make sure the game is not running when you edit this file, or it won't save. So now we're up to the final step. We've added mutators, we've added a custom map, and we've added some advanced settings. So how do we play? So what you want to do is you want to load up Insurgency so you're on the main menu and just leave it on the main menu. Alt-tab back to your game mode. I've got Strike at Karkand, I've got Checkpoint, I've got mutators loaded, I've got all the mutators I want loaded, we're good to go. And all you have to do is press play. And look at that, it's loading Strike at Karkand. And it should have ISMC mod enabled, and it should have some allied and enemy bots. And look at that, I've got 12 players on my team, and I've got 16 players on the enemy team. And you can tell that they're all ISMC. So that's how you play modded Sandstorm. So now you can start clapping some enemies in modded maps. Yeah, now you can play nice big battles all at your local computer without having to install a server. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'll do my best to answer them. But if not, subscribe and I'll catch you next time.